Gabriele Tarquini, fastest man at the moment in qualifying. Seat's filling the top 4 places. And then Augusto Farfus in 5th. James Thompson 6th in the Lada, ahead of top independents. Now, Stefano D'Aste, Mehdi Benani, Frans Sengsler and Christian Poulsen at the moment in the top 10. We had independents and a Lada in the top 10 in Oschersleben, but that's because a track that started just about dry very quickly got wet, and the fastest cars were basically the first 10 guys to get a lap in. Peter, that's not going to be the case here. Clearly, you know, we've got the rest of the 20 minutes, so it will probably be the very last guy across the line that gets the fastest time.
That's it. I mean, the conditions don't look like they're going to change here, so the track, it probably will get rubbered up, it'll get quicker, but it's a case of getting a clear lap, you know, maybe a bit of a tow as well. Someone's going to be a bit lucky, and you know, at the moment we've got these diesel cars up the front. Hopefully we can get some petrol-powered BMWs up there to take the fight to them.
Well, Farfus out there on his own. We've already seen the Seats, as ever, qualifying as a pack. 4 or 5 hunting together and looking for those quick times. But Farfus, as so often is the case with the BMWs, figuring out that in fact he'll get a better lap on his own than trying to shuffle himself around, even behind teammate Jörg Müller. And Jörg, really surprisingly off the pace this morning. He's only 13th at the moment as well, only just quicker than Tom Boardman and newcomer Fabiani. So Fabiani 15th quickest, that's not bad. And the 2 Lorinis, Andrea 18th ahead of Nicola 19th by a full minute.
I'm not seeing Andy up there yet. I don't know where he is or what he's doing.
Well, Prio went out and came straight back in, didn't he? We saw him circulating behind the Seat and then going no further. That looks like James Thompson to me. It is Tomo coming down the hill now into the Rivazza. On board with Thompson in the Lada. And again, making big steps forward every time they get this car on track. It's a little quicker, a little better sorted. More and more of the to-do list of a brand new car is being worked through. So I think he was quite happy with the way it was working this morning compared to the last time he saw it. Of course, didn't race in Oschersleben. So the last time he saw it was back in Brands Hatch, and that's a month ago and more than that. So nearly 2 months ago, in fact. So
the other lad of Van Lagen is down in 12th at the moment. Basically, he missed the whole of that second practice session, had to sit it out with a car problem. So he's done well to get the car up to 12th straight away. Thompson up in 7th, so a little bit quicker, but he's also had that extra session under his belt. So it'd be nice to see if Van Lagen could just, you know, eke out a quicker time than that. They are a fair bit lighter, aren't they, than the BMWs and the Seats, which is the big difference. But I think they're also making big steps with the car.
Okay, red flags are out. Now, did see that our new boy, Fabio Fabiani, came out with the back of the car a bit damaged as he came into the pit lane, but it's Andrea Lorini's car. That's Acqua Minerale, and that seems to come to a grinding halt. Doesn't look like he's gone off very far there, does it? And even if you'd spun, you'd expect it to go further off than that. So it looks like it's just rolled to a halt down at the bottom of the hill, and you're not going to push that up there, are you?
No, it's quite a steep hill up there, isn't it? So, yeah, obviously some problem with the car. It didn't even really look like an off, so it was just a case of the car's packed up, and you know, you probably won't get back out again. The
only reason it got down there was because it's downhill. It's got down there and it stopped. Interestingly, just as that happened, Prio coming out behind the BMW Italia Spain drivers. Now, we were watching them in free practice, and the Prio for BMW Team UK and the 2 Italia Spain crews, the Royal Motorsport drivers, trying to work together to get all 3 of them better qualifying laps than they would on their own. So we've seen Farfus out on his own without teammate Jörg Müller, but Prio, Hernandez and Zanardi all trying to work together to sort of improve their cumulative lot. At the moment, though, that's been scrubbed because they have not had a chance to actually set a time. Cars in the pits. Red flag is out because Andrea Lorini's car has come to a grinding halt, and everybody now will be in and getting ready to go at very short notice. 10 minutes remaining, so a chance to have maybe a quick sighting lap and then put on the new tyres. Nobody really, I don't think, would have been in for new tyres at this stage. Certainly a lot of drivers have not had a chance to have a lap. So we expect the Q1 to restart in another, well, probably less than a minute or so. So just about everybody will have come onto pit road and they'll all be ready to turn around. Now, the Chevrolet Luchetti, very quick here last year. Alain Menu claimed a race win, and it looked as though they might perhaps have been in the frame for a second race win. They certainly had plenty of pace, but this new Cruise doesn't seem to be able to match that. They weren't the slowest cars in free practice, but Peter Dumbreck, it looked as though BMW and SEAT just had a bit of an advantage over them.
Yeah, they're at best sort of a lower top 10, but I think they're the victim of the red flag there, because it seems they've just gone out. They've only just gone out. They haven't really even set a representative time. So they need to really, they've got the work cut out now on this last 10 minutes. They've really got to get these laps in and get all three qualified.
And that, of course, is going to mean that it's going to be a very busy track, because everybody really has had, you know, maybe one fast lap, and now everybody's going to try and get into the top 10, including Jaap van Lagen there in that red Lada, who started 4th on the grid in Oschersleben. And Ivan Muller, this is not the time to miss the train with qualifying. He's had a couple of sessions this year where he's been caught out. Oschersleben was one, and another one earlier in the season where he's been sat in the car and not on track at the right time. And that absolutely cannot happen to him again, or he's going to see any chance of his title defence start to drift away. Oschersleben, a big turning point in the championship against Ivan and for Gabrielli and for Augusto Farfus. And Ivan has got to stop the rot from being comfortable championship leader early in the season. He's now seen that drift away from him. Ivan Muller has not won since Valencia on the 31st of May. We're now 3.5 months later, and he has not stood on the top step of the podium, and that's not the kind of consistency that won him last year's championship. Quick turnaround, and the Chevrolet's back out on track, but then Peter Dumbreck, everybody's back out on track. The entire pit lane just about emptied, apart from the Seat. We're obviously looking for a new set of tyres and a run right towards the end of the session. There's our poleman, Gabriele Tarquini.
Well, I'd be, you know, maybe the Seats aren't going to go out again. They've got a comfortable top 5 at the moment. They might go out for another little run, but it's up to the BMWs, Prio, Zanardi, who was quick this morning, to go and challenge their times and try and, you know, pop themselves into the top 10. But I think at the moment, Tarquini on a 1:56.2 is a pretty good time, and you know, he's probably quite happy with that.
Yeah, valid point. Here comes Zanardi, Hernandez and Prio, and Felix Portero, the independent, just clinging onto the back of that little group as well. And I expect that the 3 Chevrolets will try and help themselves out as well. Top Chevrolet at the moment, ooh, we're looking a long way down the order. Huff in 17th, Nicola Larini 18th, Menu in 19th place. 2-minute 5 laps, and pole is 1:56. So clearly not even set I mean, that's a warm-up lap, isn't it? 10 seconds off the qualifying pace. That's, you know, 1 flying lap they've had. In fact, they've totaled 4 laps, so that's an out lap, an in lap with the red flag. This lap they're on now, not really very much running so far. We're into the last 7.5 minutes, and across the line goes the BMW train. Now, Prio not ideally placed there. He's given a good tow to Portero, but actually that's not what he wants. He wants to get a good tow off Zanardi and Hernandez. Looks like the 2 BMW Italia Spain cars working well together at the moment. And finally, here comes Jörg Müller towing around his teammate Augusto Farfus. Now, this is really what I've been waiting to see.